Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'll be completely honest, there is zero structure to this video. Just got home from the dog park. There's a bit of news out to Sharp out and my trade plans have changed. I've looked at it for the last 5 or 10 minutes and that's about all the planning I've done. So I just thought I'd jump on here and just talk about it, like go through the motions with you guys, just film it because fuck it, who cares, why not, hey? Not sure if you guys want to see this style of video in the future. I guess like it's obviously my team dependent, so like, it doesn't really help you guys too much, but I guess if you can understand my thought processes as to why I'm doing things, especially in a major buy round where it is a bit more intricate with loop options and stuff. So yeah, I'm just going to rework some of my trades and just talk out loud, I guess, while I'm doing it. Don't really know what I'm doing, just going to wing it as we go. First, so yeah, Fletcher Sharp, he's confirmed out. As we can see, I actually haven't checked the updated team list. They would have just come out, so I guess I'll check that on the fly as well. According to the news, it was Fletcher Hunt going back to fullback and McCarthy coming in at centre, so shouldn't affect Dylan Lucas, but I'll check that now. And you guys will see that in real time if you haven't already. Apparently, he's all good for next week. So Adam O'Brien said chances are he's going to come back next week. Honestly, firstly, I hope he's okay in real life. Like, it's a calf injury, not the end of the world, but yeah, hopefully his recovery is as fast as we're hoping. For fantasy, it kind of would have been ideal if he was out a couple of weeks. I actually do think if he was out even 2 weeks, he'd be more of a trade out than Payne Haas. Obviously, he's a lot cheaper, so it doesn't give you that monetary flexibility as Haas would. But he misses round 18, he's missing round 15, so that's both the major buys, which is partially the reason why we're trading out Haas. Obviously, Haas is going to lose a bit of money as well, potentially. But yeah, the main reason is just the buy round flexibility. He's missing 15 and 18. He has a buy in 22 as well, I believe. And then if he was missing 16 and 17 potentially as well, then that's 3 or 4 straight weeks plus another one coming up soon. And not that it's overpriced, but I don't think he's going to average his 57.8 in the future. Very well could, absolutely. But yeah, he's having an up season, so there's a chance he does lose a bit of money in the future as well, especially carrying a bit of a niggle. So he would have been a bit of a trade. I don't think he is, especially if he's right for next week. When do the Knights play? They play on Saturday, so yeah, it's a week turnaround. If he was touch and go for this round, I'm going to trust Adam O'Brien there. I assume if he picks up another niggle during training, then maybe he is out, but we can reassess then. We have to take the news at face value now, so he's only out for the week, so I don't think he's worth a trade. But if you want to gamble on it, fair enough. Like if you need to, then totally fine to trade him. But yeah, I personally wouldn't, being out just 1 week. But yeah, even if he was out 2, I think it's more of a trade. So if we do get news before the game that he potentially is missing next week, I think try and work around your team if you can. Second bit on the back of that, I think Haas will be a lot more popular of a trade out now. Sharp out for fantasy is actually good for my team. I kind of wanted that to happen. On the back of hearing that news, I was going to loop him anyway, and the trades I wanted were facilitating around like the winger fullback center position, so I needed someone to score badly in order for me to make what were going to be luxury trades, but now they're not luxury because he's out, so I need a winger fullback anyway, or a half, but yeah, we'll get into that. I think Haas will have to be more popular of a trade out now, even if teams don't want to, because you're going to want to pick up a winger fullback or a half now for a lot of teams. Like a lot of teams came into this not looping, which is why I stressed before round 12 how important loop options are in case there's any chaos like this, but also just in general. I think teams are going to be forced into making a trade they weren't going to make heading into the round. And if they're trying to get a gun in, who else are you going to trade out? Maybe a Hosking. His numbers might go up a little bit. But there's no one else apart from mid-rangers. And a lot of teams, if you're not carrying 2 to 250K in the bank, then maybe you can't go like a Tamale to a mid-range, to a keeper, sorry. So yeah, I think Hassel, I think he's 10.3% sold in the top 1,000 now. I expect that to probably double, if not more, before the end of the round. So yeah, a lot of people have already traded out Tamale and Hosking. So if they've already done that and they force into another trade, I think Haas is the most obvious next one for sure. I had come into the round already planning on trading him. This just solidifies it for me. He was probably like 70, 80% chance of going out of my team, and now is closer to 100. Just wanted to touch on that. So if you are in the sell Haas camp, or you were leaning towards that, or weren't sure, there's going to be a lot more in that boat now. So it's less anti-potty, I guess. Like, obviously, if he was 90% owned and you're going against him, that is scary. But it's probably going to be closer to 60, 50% owning after this round. So, yeah, you don't have to worry too much about him going massive. Obviously, it still will affect you if he does pump out some big scores, but yeah, it's not as disastrous now that heaps of people will be trading him out. Yeah, as we thought, McCarthy coming in there. So nothing's changed on that side. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, the bench looks pretty similar. I don't know who this Brock guy is. Don't think it's going to be too much interest. He's a mid. So yeah, that's fine. That shouldn't affect the rotation too much. And on this side of things, obviously we got news yesterday that Sam Walker out for 4 weeks with a broken thumb. So poor bloke, just can't catch a break. But it would have been interesting to see what they were going to do with that rotation with Zach Docker-Clay and Walker on the bench. But yeah, Savala has a longer leash now. So that's good if you kept him. A lot of people did trade him last week. So that's kind of annoying if you did. But yeah. That's about it on the Fletcher Sharp front. I will talk about how that changes my team though a little bit. So heading into the round, I had 13 players. Pretty much just Cook up here for Aaron Clark. I had Dylan Lucas there, and then Garrick here, Garrick here in winger fullback, and Lawson in centre. So yeah, I had 13 and Savala, Sharpe. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I had 13, like a full 13. With the news of Fletcher Sharp out, I'm down to 12. And then with Lawson scoring poorly, I'm down to 11. So I'm not taking his score. So essentially he is a red dot this week. That's the only way to look at it really. So I'm down to 11, which is totally fine. I had 3 planned trades. So I was going to get up to 16, or now I'm going to get up to 11. Now I'm getting up to 14, which is totally fine if I do make 3 trades. Essentially, I need to make 1 trade in either winger, fullback, or centre. So that's pretty easy. I brought in Jaden Campbell. So Munster to Jaden Campbell. I'd rather not do it for Munster. I'd rather do it for Tamale if I could, but I just can't if I want to loop Garrick. And I think looping Garrick is the way to go, given I'm going to be making 2 trades anyway, at a minimum, I'd say. Well, I have to get up to 13. So yeah, Munster would be the next off the chopping block anyway, and then Haas. I could just do Haas down to Campbell straight away, and that would work. But in the event that I don't get a keeper or something like that, and like Savala scores well, I just want to keep Haas in the unlikely event that I do keep him. So yeah, Campbell's come in to wing a fullback. That's totally fine. So my original plan was to get Cherry Evans. So these were the 3 trades this week. Haas to Kiraz, Munster to Campbell, Tamale to DCE, and then Savala to Hughes next week. If I was doing that, I couldn't loop Savala because he plays after Cherry Evans, who obviously plays tonight. So that kind of puts a damper on things. I could do it still, but since I have 11 players at the moment, if I didn't loop Savala, I'm essentially down to 10 players because I have no way of getting his score. So I don't really want to put myself in that position. It makes no sense to do that. As much as I want Cherry Evans, he does have a higher break even, and I was looking at it. So he's got a 65 break even. I was looking at it. So he'd be essentially traded for Munster. I know it doesn't say it there, but that's essentially the half swap. So yeah, that would be great this week. I switch Munster for Cherry Evans, who's playing. But if Savala scores a 30 and Cherry Evans scores a 50, I'd gain 20 points. And then Cherry Evans has a bye next week, and I could have had Munster anyway, who is going to play instead of maybe a Jerome Hughes or Hines. And I'd loop one of those, like maybe Hughes and, I can't do Hughes and Munster because they both play in the same team. But I could have looped like a Munster or Hines. So I probably would have gained back close to 20 there anyway. So it was a bit of a wasted trade. So yeah, I can wait on Cherry Evans. If I still want him by round 18, that's totally fine because I do kind of need a half. I'd have Hughes and, no one else really. But also we do want Latu Fainu most likely next week, or at least before round 18. It's expected he'll be in the team in some capacity, even if he's playing like 50 minutes off the bench. So I could just bring him in and have a number and then potentially do a mid-round loop, depending on what day do the Sharks play in round 18. That is kind of important actually. I think I had a look at this. It was Saturday maybe. Again, there's no structure to this video, so I'm just talking out loud. Worst case, you guys just fucking hate this sort of video and then we're good. So yeah, that's actually perfect. They play on Sunday, the Tigers, and then Cherry Evans plays the game after that on the Sunday. So worst case, I could just aim for Cherry in round 18 again as a mid-round option if Latu Fainu scores poorly. But yeah, I can cross that bridge when it comes. It's pretty easy to justify, to get in a half by round 18 if I need to. There's also Fogarty if I wanted to. They are a bit slimmer in supply, which is why I wanted Cherry to begin with, but it makes no sense doing it this week. The only thing is, like, if Savala scores badly, I still do need a half in this round, and it does limit my options a little bit, as in I can't bring another half in, and then if I'm bringing Latu Fainu, then I've also got Campbell coming in who can play half, and then I still want Cherry Evans. Like, that's a bit overkill. So yeah, if I do bring in a half, it probably means Cherry Evans won't come into my team, which is fine. Like, he's not a must-have. I just really wanted him because no one's bringing him in, and I think he's going to average about 53 to 55, and he's priced at 48 with really good buys. Should be fired up after missing Origin. So yeah, I think he's a really good trade-in, but it doesn't make sense for my team given he has a bye next week, and it would force me into not playing Savala. Because if Savala comes out and scores a 50, that was completely wasted. So yeah, going to do that. What I was immediately thinking is if Savala scores badly and Garrick scores badly, I think, I just go Tamale straight up to Kiraz, and then I bring in Isaiah Katoa for Payne Haas, and then just switch him and Sharpe. And I can do that easily. I think I have, can't remember the exact amount I have, but it would leave me, I think it's like 99K in the bank. So then I need Savala to make 11K this week in order to do Savala to Hughes next week. So I'm cutting it very close. That means he'd need to score 35 because he has a 24 break even. So yeah, if he scores a 35, he makes 11K, and that's give or take. So it might end up being like a 37, 38. And then if he scores a 37, 38, do I even bother getting Katoa in, who's only going to score like 20 more than that? So yeah, it's tough. I don't know if that's the way to go. I don't really want Katoa. He does miss round 18 as well. So that would really depend on me absolutely getting Hughes and Latu Fainu in, or another half. But if I have Katoa, then I don't need another half. So it does make it really dicey. Maybe I trade Hines before round 18, but I don't really want to do that. I do still view him as an end-of-season keeper, absolutely below Katoa. I think he's probably going to average around 50 to 52, but that's still a borderline keeper, and I can justify keeping him as like a 17th, 18th, 19th man. So yeah, don't really want to do that, but that is an option. I do have trades up my sleeve. Katoa's not that highly owned for how well he's doing. So that adds appeal. He hasn't been picked up too much this week, given they don't play round 18. So yeah, he's not even featured here. So he is like kind of a pod as much as you can be in the top like 1,000, 5,000 where everyone has similar teams. So yeah, like 51% in the top 100, but only 33, which is actually pretty low. So could do that. The other halves on the board, Lockie Galvin, which is fine. Like, I think he'll be good in general. It's just we don't know what his role is going to be. And if he's still playing on the bench, then it's terrible. Like, it's a complete waste of a trade. I'd probably have to trade him out next week. So is it worth taking a flyer on him? Maybe, maybe not. I do have the trades to do it. Worst case, I've just blown a trade, but it's not ideal. But I do think he does stay in the team. I think Burden probably moves to centre, if I had to guess, but I don't know if it's immediately. So it does throw me off that. The other one is Humphreys, which is totally fine as well. He's 454K. So yeah, essentially a cash cow. Obviously, he's not quite as cheap as a cash cow, but we've seen what he can do. He's priced at 34, which is just ridiculous. It's a really rare opportunity where someone averaging 44 is priced 10 lower. Without that game, he's averaging 50, but obviously that was with those 3 scores. And I've talked about it. He's going to lose goal kicking when the Trell's out. He's going to probably half his kick meters when the Trell's in the team as well, sorry. And yeah, like the scores since then have been absolutely shocking. He hasn't always played 80. Like, he got injured in this game. He came off the bench in this one and didn't play in the halves. So yeah, I don't know if he's even going to start when Cody Walker's back. I think he will. Like, you'd have to think. But I think he will be really good in round 15 and 18 with Latrell and Origin. So I think he could easily score 50, 55 in those 2 rounds. But his break even is essentially that. So he's not going to make too much money. Like, he's got a 51 break even. So yeah, like, he'll make money. But if I expect him to score like 35s, 40s, and then a 50, like, you're not getting any cash generation for him. So it would really only be a round 15 and round 18 play. And then hopefully he's better in the other rounds. Like, I don't know. I don't love it. I think that's probably the way I'll go if Savala scores poorly. But I don't love it. I think it's just with my trades in the bank, it makes the most sense. And then I have enough to do a massive upgrade next week. And I potentially don't have to trade Haas if I do that. The only thing is, well, I definitely don't have to trade Haas, but I don't have anyone else I'd want to trade. Like Riley Smith, I could, but I don't really want to. Like, he's got a lower break even, like 33. So even if he scores a 50, like, he's still got money to make, and it's very early to get rid of him. I guess if I don't trade Haas, I do have that option set. Yeah, so I could do Riley Smith. Don't really want to, though. Could do Hosking. Don't really want to. But if I do make these trades or similar, I don't need him in round 18 at this stage. So it does add appeal to trade him. A lot of people have traded him out, so I could easily get away with that and don't have to risk too much. Similar to people trading out Haas. Like, you're not... Like, it doesn't matter if they score well. It does matter. It doesn't matter as much if they score well. So, yeah, could always do that, and I think I can afford that. So maybe that's an appeal. But at this stage, I don't need Haas in round 16 either. So he's obviously missing round 15, 18, 20, and then backing up in 16 and 19. And I don't even need him in round 16 at the moment. Like, I've got Clark at hooker, May, Koloamatangi, and Tarpanay in my mids. So, like, I could do Koloamatangi to edge and then Haas in there, but it's only like probably 10 points of value, so that I don't actually need Haas next week anyway, so I do want to trade him. So then I don't need Humphries. So I don't know what I want to do. It's very tough. I kind of just hope Savala scores well, so I don't have to think about a half. That would be ideal. Usually in the major buy rounds, I want my loop options to do badly because it gives me more flexibility, and like, I can get guns straight in the team that I want to get anyway. So yeah, it didn't work out in round 12, obviously, with all of them going crazy. But that's fine because I ended up not making any trades, moved up in the ranks, and am set up for the future rounds. So yeah, like, it's fine either way. But this round, I do want Savala to score well because otherwise I have to get Katoa, and then I don't know. But I guess with Savala playing before Katoa, I will know if Savala gets that 35 plus, and then I can... If I do get Katoa, I know I can afford Hughes next week. So that's actually a point I didn't think about. The other thing is I could, instead of Katoa, I could get Preston, but it means I can't afford Hughes next week for Savala. I'd have to do it for a Hosking or a Riley Smith. And if that were the case, would I not just do something similar this week? So yeah, I do actually want Preston in some capacity. I think in my buy planner, I said I want him before round 18. Is it? Yeah, in round 17, I want to aim to get him in, and I wouldn't have the money through it for Smith in this case if I got like a Katoa this round or something, unless I went down to a Latu Fainu and then up, like Riley Smith and Hosking down and up. So yeah, but Preston should be really good. I had him to start the year up until that suspension, and he's just killing it. They do have the bye next week, but as you can see, like, it doesn't really affect me too much. If you haven't seen this buy planner as well, blue is just keepers, green means they're playing, and then the rest you can figure out. Yeah, so if I got Preston in for the usual, that's totally fine, and then I don't have to play Hosking, so I can trade Hosking next week. So, Hosking's out, so never mind. Hosking is essentially Cherry Evans there. Sorry, Preston is essentially Cherry Evans, so that's fine. And then if I don't, yeah, cool. So if Savala scores well, I might actually get Preston in, and that could work. I don't actually care about getting doggies in next week because it just gives you more loop options. But yeah, he's absolutely crushed it this year. Averaging 60, yeah, that's totally fine. He averaged 58 last year, playing in the second row for 80 minutes, or even like a couple of games less. So that's essentially 59, 60, and he's played 80 every game this year. apart from the game he got sin bin. So yeah, I don't expect that to falter in any way. I just think he's a luxury trade this week with underpriced keepers on the board that you could get instead. But yeah, like I think he is a good option. No one is getting him in as he is a luxury. Oh, actually, what the fuck? 5% are getting him in. That's crazy. Thought it'd be lower than that. Yeah, like he's an option. So it's probably Preston or Katoa if I wanted a gun, and then Kiraz as well. Kiraz or Herbie, but no, actually Kiraz or Tedesco for Tamale definitely coming in. If Garrick scores well, he probably just comes in because I want to trade Tamale out. So if Garrick scores well, I did figure this out before the video, but I'm doing this on the fly. So if Garrick scores well, I think I just trade Haas out for Kiraz, I think it is, or Tedesco, doesn't really matter. Let's say it's for Kiraz, so I just move him up here. Dylan Lucas on the bench, Dylan Lucas for Hosking. Yeah, and that's fine. So that works out well. So yeah, I can easily do that. If it's for Teddy, it would be Haas to Teddy. Teddy switch with Tamale. Tamale switches with Lucas. Lucas switches with Hosking, and then Garrick comes in. So yeah, that's good. So yeah, I don't need to loop Garrick, but I think it makes more sense to do it. He's the one with the potential to score lowest out of my remaining players, really, apart from Tallis Duncan, who, yeah, like he plays in the last game, so I can't loop him or anything. And there's no mids I wanted. So yeah, Garrick's probably the 1-2 loop for sure out of this remaining team. Like Drinky's fine, Campbell obviously not. Fermor and Lucas, I'd probably ideally like to loop Lucas, but I just can't feasibly do it. I guess I could do it. I could do it after tomorrow, actually. So after tonight's game, because if I trade Haas for Kiraz comes in there, Lucas move up for Tarpanay, Hosking's there. Then if Lucas scores badly, Hosking, I can trade someone to, maybe even Hosking to Preston. So that's fine. I can loop Lucas tomorrow, actually, so that's good. And that would leave me with 1, 2, 3, 4 loop options max. So yeah, that's good. So I'll probably loop Lucas tomorrow as well. Hopefully I remember that, but we'll see how the guys score. So that's totally fine. But yeah, there's no other mids I want. If Tallis Duncan played earlier, then I'd potentially be trading one in, but I can't loop his score. He's probably going to score a 40, 45 anyway. If it was for anyone, it would be for AFB. It would have been for AFB, but I didn't like him as a keeper. I said he's in the third tier of mid keepers, and yeah, I didn't view him as an end of season guy. If I knew he was playing 60 every week, then absolutely, but certainly not. And there's no one else really that's a keeper, like maybe Nafahu White, but he's probably tier 4, and I don't need Jazz. So yeah, I'm just happy to roll with Tallis Duncan this week, and then all my other team are guns. So Kalamatangi, obviously, Aiken, Fermor, Lucas, Campbell, Drinky, Garrick. So yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. It's going to be super dependent on tonight's games. So what I'm hoping for is Savala goes well. Probably Garrick goes well because it gives me more flexibility. What's Garrick's ownership, actually? If it's under 50%, I want him to do well. Holy shit, 80% now. That is crazy. So many people are picking him up. Has anyone picked him up this week? No one really this week, but damn, he was like 40% a couple of weeks back. I know he's gotten to a super low price. Like 42 is ridiculous. He's averaging 48. So that's another one that's super rare to just be priced so low as opposed to what they're actually averaging. Yeah, he's lost like over 100K, which is crazy. He just hasn't scored well lately. Maybe at this price I would have picked him up if you didn't have him, but otherwise I probably would have just gone to Tedesco or something. So yeah, I do want Garrick to score well, I guess, even though he is so highly owned. But if he scores badly, I have the flexibility to trade out of his score, and then everyone's going to be stuck with him. So that one's either way, but Savala I do want to score well because I don't want to bring in a half this week if it's not Katoa, if it's not Cherry Evans. So there is plenty of options on the board in the halves position, so I'm not screwed if he doesn't score well. I'll probably pick up Katoa or Humphreys. Yeah, like I do obviously want Hughes and maybe Latu Fainu next week, so I don't want to be handicapped by picking up one mid-round this week who doesn't play 18. Yeah, there's no one else really on the board. Maybe I could take a flyer on Kurt Donahue, and maybe, actually, I might do that. That's not a bad option. But again, he doesn't play round 18 either. So that's tough. Yeah, I guess if I'm going to take a flyer, it may as well be on a Humphreys who plays round 18. So, yeah, I think he scores well, but he's priced higher than Humphreys and doesn't have the same potential. So, yeah, if I'm taking a flyer, it would be on Humphreys, I guess. There's just no one else of interest, really, is there? Jai Gray. Jai Gray, actually. That is super interesting. Where's he playing? He's playing fullback, surely. That is actually really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely do Jai Gray, actually. Oh, but then he is back on the bench, isn't he, after these rounds? So you'd rather him just not be in the team at all, hey? That break-even's so high as well, so that would literally just be a points grab, which is essentially what you're doing with Humphreys. Yeah, 63 break-even, that's gross. But when he's playing fullback, he's really good. No, he's not even that good, is he? See, this is what I mean. It's like just on the fly. So I think it's kind of interesting seeing like different points of view as you're trying to work through your trades. Yeah, like I guess that's exactly what Humphreys would probably score anyway. So yeah, maybe not Jai Gray. Look at all those rabbits in a row. What the hell? They're all like the same price. That's crazy. Yeah, I guess there's no one else. Is Bailey Hayward that cheap as well now? What the hell? Wasn't this guy like 500k at one stage? Again, a high break even. Oh, wow. 17 in 53 minutes at lock. That's crazy. What did he do to get Sinbind? How was his score so low with 31 tackles? He didn't get Sinbind, but minus 14, minus 16. That's crazy. Yeah, that's terrible. Definitely not, I guess. Where's he playing this round, though? He's playing 13, but I guess he won't play any backup hooker. They've got Turpin, who plays a little bit of hooker, and then your other mids. So, yeah, probably not him either. I think it would just be Humphreys. Yeah, King Tonga really well to score a 46. He's actually going to bail out so many teams now with Fletcher Sharp out. A lot of people are going to take his score, so I really wish he scored like a 20. But, yeah, I guess if you have Savala and King Tonga, then you're fine now. Yeah, that's about it, I think. So hopefully Savala scores well. Garrick, whatever, that's fine. The only one I'm trading in tonight is Jaden Campbell anyway. But it's going to be an exciting game for me. I've got Garrick kind of, and then Fermor and Campbell. I wish I had Cherry Evans in this game, but I guess there's a lot going on anyway. So yeah, Campbell's coming in tonight for Munster. Then depending on some results, if Savala scores badly, getting up to either Katoa or Humphreys more than likely. And then if Garrick scores badly, I guess Tamale to Kiraz. And I think we'll get word on Kiraz if he's going into camp before Sunday, maybe even on Saturday. Like we should have word on Bizza to see if he's all good. But yeah, he is kind of risky. If you don't have cover, especially with Sharp out, I wouldn't pick up Kiraz. So like if Garrick scores a 10, maybe I don't get him. But if he scores a 30, then I'd probably pick up Kiraz and then no, I've got a 30 in the worst case. But yeah, if he just gets a 10, I'll probably just get Tedesco or something, just so I've got that security blanket, worst case. But yeah, if you don't have any cover, probably wouldn't pick up him. I could always do Tommy Turbo as well, but that would have to be like a 10 from Garrick. So then I know that he's not worth it. And even if Turbo scores a 20, I gain 10 points. So yeah, that could be a fun one. Oh, he plays tonight, idiot. No, of course not. Can't do that. I'll probably stop talking now. This has gone on too long for me, just absolutely rambling. I'll have to go over my buy planner to see what works, but there's no point doing that tonight. I'll probably talk about that in my recap tomorrow morning from tonight's game. And yeah, because I could do it now and then plans change with Savala scoring, with old mate Garrick scoring like a 60 or something. So yeah, no point doing that, but I'll do that tomorrow. But yeah, good luck. Let us know what your updated plans are with Fletcher Sharp being out. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything like that, give me a little bit of a synopsis of your team situation and I can try and get back to you. But yeah, enjoy the game tonight, guys. I'll have that video out tomorrow with the recap for tonight's game. And yeah, see you guys.